to prepare for this, just like we talked about in class the other day. We got to do drills. We have to not just say on paper, this is how we do it. Here, we want to walk through this. We actually think of simulations. We got 3 patients in here locked down, something happens, we start having seizures, how do we get them in, how do we get them out, what doctors go in, what are we doing, our driver out here has a heart attack, who takes over. So these are things we have to pre-think of here in our environment, because there is so much that could go wrong. Not because it's an unsafe place to work, but there's just a lot that can happen. So preparedness, definitely chaos when there's an emergency, all that stuff takes place. So emergencies we have, like I said, we can have any emergency, cardiac arrest, tsunamis, earthquakes, all these.
Yeah, but you have, I mean, you're talking about related, just alert systems for the hyperbaric chamber, for the drivers.
Well, and for even who's inside, yeah, but all of it, yes.
Okay.
But these are just, again, scenarios that we look at. This is one of our training things I put together for us to talk about as a group. Not us here, but our team that works here. But so these are some of the things.
So now, what are you looking at? Fires, Dr. Red,
okay,
tsunamis?
These are Dr. Red and the other is our codes for when we start calling in the chamber and we got patients in there. We don't want to say fire, fire, because then what are patients going to do? They're going to go up through the roof.
And
Fire,
so,
what talking about?
Yeah.
So therefore we have the code words. So it is. So yeah, that's pretty key. That we try not to, in any emergency, you try not to alarm everybody. You try to keep it as calm as possible. And so that's what the keywords are for. So code red is for a fire, code red in the hallway, whatever it is, so that the care provider inside knows these keywords. He can calm her, everything's all right, and he's sweating bullets, but everybody else can be calm and breathing their O2 as we work them back to the surface. We can't. Has anybody ever gone deep sea fishing and caught a fish and pulled them up from 200 and something feet? You do that and you pull them up, their eyeballs bulge out and everything else. Same thing with a human being. You start bringing them up too fast, they're off-gassing. And like I said, the gas has to come out normally, so you can't just take a diver from that depth and bring them right to the surface. You have to bring it up in increments. So same with us. So through these we have to work them up. Fire triangle, definitely the key things to it is you have to have all parts of the triangle for a fire to work. You remove any one of those, the spark from the jewelry or the spark from the horse's hoof or anything like that, it would probably never happen. Or you remove the fuel. Now the fuel, they say, and this is kind of a key one for the horse, is what was the fuel? Well, oxygen aids the burning, but horse's manure puts off a lot of methane gas. Horses put off a lot of gas, and so it might have been, it's hard to say, but anything on his foot, his hoof might have had some manure on it or something, and that possibly is what was the fuel part.
But even the hair, I mean,
that doesn't put off a gas really. It'll aid burning, but the gas to ignite it was probably the key thing, and probably from something on his hoof, and that's where the spark was at, and that's probably what helped light it up. Of course, we don't want any burning alphas. Scenarios, these are what I just talked about. We try to run through many scenarios here, on what, either in the chamber, in the hospital, what we're going to do to get our patients out. Evacuation plans are key for us. That's all this is here. Of steps and procedures we go through. Fire just in the hospital but not involving the chamber. Chamber fires. First thing we'll do in a chamber fire is, if a fire starts in the chamber, is to secure the O2 before we start doing anything else, because it removes the aid for the burning. So if we shut that off, it'll keep, and shutting it off, we start supplying air there, not oxygen. So the patients can still breathe. Now, of course, it's filled with air, so it's not like we're shutting it off that way, but because they're hood assembly, they're breathing off of the breathing apparatus. We'll secure the O2, and then we'll work the fire from there. The deluge system, there's this black pipe on the top is actually the sprinkler deluge system we talked about from upstairs. Comes through this black pipe, and it has spigots that go off into the chamber. So that's what,
like sprinklers?
By a switch, yeah. It's an overhead sprinkler system.
and the deluge system is tied in with the pressurization of the tank.
Yeah. Yes, it equalizes it. So, well, it keeps it from being equal. It puts a
Right.
head pressure on it. It
That
maintains
way
the head
it'll
pressure.
push it
Yep.
down. It'll let
We
it
always
come in.
maintain about a 90 head pressure minimum manifold pressure so that it's always above what the chamber
Higher
is.
than what the
Yep.
chamber is.
Yep. It's done through a regulator system. Okay. A couple facts of it. Okay. That's all I had on it. If you want, we can run a couple of chambers, and we want to just talk about what we have. We've already kind of burned some time. Where are you guys at on what we want to do this on?